Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. All right. Let's get this party started. Let me just make sure my audio is good to go. All right. Let's get this party started. Yep. Sound good here. All right. We got a super informative episode today. Okay. Out of all the episodes, even though I'm always excited every time we do a live episode, okay, this one here today, okay, super excited with this one. We got a good one today. All right. A lot of announcements or big announcements for today. All right. So let me just make sure everything looks good. Okay. Little preview of what we're looking at today. Let's see. Man, look at that one. All right. Yep. All right. That's just a little preview, making sure my computer, my laptop right here is good. All right. Just a quick on the comments and on the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, name and where you're watching from. All right. Uh, let's hit that like real quick on YouTube. Let's let YouTube know that class is in session. Right, we are ready to go. We are ready to rock and roll today. All right. So we're talking about today. We are talking about sweater designs. All right. Most importantly, front chest. Right, something like this. Okay, we're looking at about the designs we're looking at today. Okay, front chest, about anywhere between like let's say like 11 inches to like 8, kind of like in that little sweet spot. All right, so we're going to talk about that. All right. We got a lot of people in the house coming in. All right, we got Gabriel from the 818. All right, that's where I'm from too, Van Nuys. All right, so good to see somebody from the 818 in the house. Got Ontario. All right. Bam, bam. Let me see. Got a lot of Cali. Bam, bam. All right, Marlene, Ohio in the house. One thing I had to start 1 hour later today. So right now it's 6 p.m. here in San Diego. That's just because work wise, all right, work wise is getting a little crazy. If at any time, like I don't go live at 5 Pacific, okay, um, I'm still going live. All right, I'm still going live. I had a chance when I posted up the thumbnail to kind of put the 6 p.m. today. So always just double check on the time just in case. Next week I won't be available on Monday, so we're gonna move the class on to Sunday. Okay, so Sunday night next week, Sunday night we're going live. All right, Sundays are good. I know sometimes there's no perfect day for everybody. Some days are good for other days, right? Sundays I like it because it's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chill. Um, so next week, look out for that. All right, let me see, man. So I know it's late on the East Coast, but if for any reason you have to, it's bedtime for you, right? It's all good because we have the videos on the replay, so we can always watch them over and over and over, right? You can push pause if you gotta, transition to something else and then resume at another time. So it's all good, all right. Um, real quick, all right. Looks like we got a jam-packed house today. All right. Make sure you hit that like. Let YouTube know we are in the house. All right, TMG from Orlando. Hey, how you doing? All right. Meg Laris, V Cooley, South Carolina, Somerville, Daly, Somerville, South Carolina. All right. We got Hawaii in the house. Nelson. All right. We got. All right. Bam, bam. Mary Brown from Tennessee. Barb, how you doing? North Central Minnesota, Lorraine, Atlanta, Georgia. All right, all right. Oh, New One Man, Albany, Georgia. Patricia, how you doing? Marco, North Carolina, Raleigh. All right. Looks like we got just like every week, West Coast, Midwest, East Coast. We got Hawaii, Jab Embroidery from Dallas, Doug. All right, right. And then, bam. All right. I just seen your question. Like, I think you posted a question about the sweatshirt, washing it. I got the sweatshirt right here, right next to me on the side. I'm going to show you. We did wash it. I didn't record it. I didn't make a video. I wanted to make a video on it. Um, but we're still going to wash it. Like, we have one wash on it. So I'm going to show you. I got the camera right here. So we're going to zoom in. All right. But we're still going to throw it in the washer and all that. Keep on doing it. All right. So I'm still going to throw a video. All right. So we'll check that out right now in a bit. Um, just real quick, just as a preview, okay, it came out good. All right. It came out good. Just so I don't leave you in the suspense. But I do want to go and zoom in so you could see kind of what happened or how it looks. All right. But yeah, it did come out good. Vicky, Las Vegas in the house. All right. Tracy from Jacksonville. All right. Sub base Kings Bay, Georgia. So I think the Kings Bay, right? It's in Georgia, but it's like borderline from Jacks. All right. Diablo. All right. We got jam pack. Jesse, how you doing? We got Doug from West Hills. All right. All right. My mom used to work. She just retired from West Hills Medical Center. So yeah, we always. I know exactly where you're talking about. West Hills. 818 also. All right. And then Panorama Mall. Yup, I know exactly. Van Nuys Boulevard. All right. Bam Bam. Ray Smith from the Boogie Down Bronx. All right. Anna NY. Lima Screens, Chicago. All right. Jelaine, how you doing? Arlington, Texas. All right. Sunjay from Las Vegas. Kiona, Nashville. All right. So let's get this event started today. Okay. Some quick news. Big major news that I got. All right. But before we start, so everybody already hit that like. All right. Yep. We got that out of the way. Quick reminder on the Mighty Hoops, we got the free shipping on Mighty Hoops. So if you are in the market of buying your Mighty Hoops, of course, makes life 100 times easier. All right. We got the free shipping, and I got the code in the description. So I got the website, the link on the description, promo code Romero, or you could call them. Like if you're iffy about if sizes and if it's gonna fit your machine, they're always super helpful to give them a call. They're located in Wisconsin, Germantown, Wisconsin. All right. So easy people to work with, right? Super knowledgeable about machines and the Mighty Hoops. All right. We got the candle thread. Okay. So I think this year, really super popular embroidery thread right now. All right. Is the candle thread. Not only because of how nice and shiny and clean it looks, but of course the price wise, right? Everything is like outrageously priced. Candle thread kind of is maintaining their prices, reasonable, right? At a normal rate, right? So check them out. I have the link in the description. Okay. Then you can see like right behind me, right here. Got like the color chart. All right. They got tons of color, and on their website, like if you have certain colors certain brands that you use, you could match colors by their numbers. All right. So it'll give you the equivalent on their website of whatever colors you usually work with. All right. Um, And then this one here is always the number one question that I get. I'm loving it. All right, I'm loving the candle thread. All right, super shiny. It has a certain look to it. Okay, like if you're looking for your designs to have like that extra umph, right? That's it. So very good. All right, all right. Hey, Miss Storm, Birmingham, Alabama, in the house. All right. All right. So the big major announcement that I have today. Okay, so you could see the title, today's title. All right, sweater embroidery master class. All right, we are gonna go into the details of designs like this. All right, so these are kind of, I'll call it collegiate designs. All right, it probably has different names, front chest logos, but usually they'll be kind of in that category, collegiate designs. And it says 100 free design challenge. All right, so I like to challenge myself. I like to just throw outrageous, right, challenges for myself. So I'm gonna challenge myself to a 100 free design challenge. Okay, so I made a list, right? So I'm almost like, I got my list right here of all the designs I want to do. Okay, all the designs I want to do. Some of these ideas were also mentioned in last week's episode, right? Some people gave like some ideas of some good designs, or yeah, design ideas. Okay, so what I want to do, okay, I'm gonna show you here on the software how I go about digitizing and preparing these type of designs, front chest logos. Okay, but I got a list of the designs I want to do, and I'm gonna post them for free. All right, so my goal uh, to complete these 100 designs is to at least, at the very minimum, like on a bad week, to at least make 5 designs in a week, right? Now, if I can knock out 20 in a week, then I'll finish a little quicker. All right. But my goal, okay. So tonight I have, let me see, one, two, three, four, five, six. I have 6 designs ready for download for tonight. So right after this live, I'll have the link in the description so you could download some of the designs. All right, like this one here, Dad Gang. All right, this one's gonna be, this one's ready to go. All right, this one's ready to go. A lot of the designs, I have samples. All right, samples. So let me show you. Um, so I got this one, Auntie, right? This one was actually one that was requested. All right, let me just show you real quick. Um, color object. Let me see, what's the size of this one? This one, so you can see the bottom right hand corner where it's telling me the size. We're looking at 11 inches. All right. And we're going to go into the details of this. All right. A lot of small little details when we're looking at this. All right. And let me show you the stitch out here. All right. Let me set up my camera real quick. Cancel. All right. Hold on. Go camera number 2. Let me see if yep, it's good to go right here. All right. So I've been sampling these, and what I'm doing, let me zoom in right here, and then you could kind of see the size of this. So half of this ruler, let's see if you could even see it. Half of this ruler from here to the end, that's 12 inches. So you can see it's a pretty good size design. All right, so it's 11 inches, like the like it just showed right there. All right. What I'm trying to find is like the sweet spot of thickness of sand stitch. Okay, so I experimented with a 4. Usually I'm working with 4 millimeters. Okay, so let's see if I zoom in a bit. Let's go all the way zoomed in. Hold on. All right, so you can kind of see it looks real clean right here. Okay, and then I kind of checked out, so you can see this. This one's a pretty cool one. So this one was like the thumbnail, but then this one, the pops. So this one right here was the 3.5, no, 3.75. So I had like a big difference. Like, so I think the sweet spot for me was the 4 millimeters. All right. Let me just show you. And this is what we're gonna kind of work on today. All right. I just like the way it's angled. So you can see like here, it has the sharp angles on the side. All right. And a nice clean oval shape on the bottom and on the top. Right. So that's what I'm talking about when we say collegiate style lettering. All right. So right now I'm in like super sample phase right now where I'm sampling a lot of designs. Then I had the dang gang right here. I did it upside down on mistake, right? It would have looked good if I would have kept it all in, but it's all good, right? So let's flip this around. And then this is the sweater that I got right here. Bang. All right. So we're going to kind of go over some of these designs. And every time I'm designing, I'm always looking for like lessons learned, things that I'm kind of noticing when I'm doing certain designs. All right. So I want to share some of the lessons learned that I have so far. All right. Let's go back to here. All right. Hold on. Give me one sec. All right. Cool. Let me just switch some stuff. All right. Right. Hey, T-Town. How you doing? Toledo in the house. Bam, bam. Rome's Review. Omaha, Nebraska. All right. TMG, 4 millimeters. Yeah. That's like my sweet spot. So this one here is also 4 millimeters. All right. All right. Bam. Let's go. Oh. And then Jesse, gotta try that candle thread. Yep. Let me know how when you try it out. Okay. Oh. And then do you like them better than ice? I haven't used isocord like in years. But I would say yeah, I definitely would use it over isocord. All right, cool. All right. Now to help me gather this list. All right. So far this is what I have on the list. All right. Actually, let me show you what I have here. This is gonna be part of the download for today. And I'm saying like every week I'm gonna add to this list. All right. So at the very minimum, I'm gonna add 5 designs to this list, to this link that I'm gonna have. Um, at the very minimum, add 5. On a good week, I'll try to add like 20. All right. Um, for the download, I have Auntie. All right. That one was actually a by request. Somebody wanted the design Auntie because I did start with the mom that we were selling online on our website. Okay. But I've got so much requests of like other stuff, but Auntie was always a big one that people wanted. All right. So this one here is ready to go. You saw the stitch out. That stitch out looks super fresh, ready to be put on a sweater. All right. I got Daddy, right? Especially Father's Day's coming. All right. I know Mother's Day is also coming like even sooner. So I'll try to have some more of the mom. And then this is the one I'm wearing right now. All right. And then, of course, we got Grandma, right? Super classic one. And then Papa. This one's ready to go. Okay. So these that I have right now, they're gonna be available for free download. As soon as we're done with today's live class, we're gonna I'm gonna have that link in the description. All right. So you could just download it. Um, but what I do want, okay, what I do want is from help from the chat. Okay. If you could add more ideas that I have, all right. Some of the more ideas that I have, all right. Nana, Grams, Mama, Grandpa, Gramps, Grampy, Papa, Bubba, Abuelo. Also like sports, so I'll put some sports ones too, like soccer, football, volleyball, cheer. We'll have like for family, uncle, sister, brother, cousin. All right, so it's pretty much like unlimited stuff you could do, right? And also cities. I'm gonna have a lot of cities that I want to put. All right. So if you got any ideas, post them in the chat. Um, I'm gonna be writing them down and adding them to this list of 100 designs that we're gonna put. All right. All right. I like this one right here. Okay. Bam. See, it's like you guys got like the best ideas right here. Let me just write that one down because I'm definitely, even though I'm gonna write all of them down right now, that one kind of caught my attention real quick. Okay. Yeah. So it's like family, cities, sports, um, schools, right? Yeah. Oh, this one's cool too. I think I do have that one. Yeah. Yeah. Faith blessed. Yeah. Even like faith ones too. This one's cool right here. I definitely got. Hold on. Dang, you guys are coming out with some real good ones. Right. I am gonna come back though, but let me just. And then yeah, definitely states. Barb, right? We definitely gonna go states, cities. Right. It's like it's unlimited ideas. That's why when I was thinking like 100 designs, like 100 designs, that's just like scratching the surface, right? 100 designs, like we're gonna write down 100 designs real quick, right? I know this one, people would really love this one. Texas, right? I got a lot of friends from Texas, so I definitely gotta do that one. Yeah, pop, pop. And then wifey. I don't know if the word wifey is trademarked. Probably a specific way, right? I mean, if you're just writing a word, right? That's kind of I don't know. It's like you make a move, you gotta be very careful because everything is copyright. So I do feel you on that one, right? Kind of. And then I'm definitely making this one. Actually, we're gonna do this one tonight. Okay, girl dad. All right, I'm definitely a girl dad. I got 2 daughters. We're doing that one today. All right, this is the one we're doing live today. Girl dad. Maybe we make a boy mom. I know I've seen that one. Right. All right. I definitely appreciate all these ideas. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna write them down and add them to my list. All right. Um, once I hit 100, just knock them out. Right. We're gonna knock them out. And I'm gonna show you like my workflow, how I go about doing these. All right. Because we definitely need a workflow. We need a way to kind of systematically create this design so we can be as efficient as possible. All right. Also, the stitching wise and hooping and all that, I recorded the video when I stitched out this sweater. So uh, that video would drop either what's tomorrow? Not Tuesday. Tuesday can't. Either Wednesday or Thursday. So like 3 days from this live, I'm gonna drop the the actual stitch, the hooping and the stitching of this sweater. All right. So if you have any questions on hooping, all right, really sweaters, I like to use 2 pieces of cutaway. Usually you're good, right? You usually common practice is 1 piece of cutaway on sweaters. Um, But my sweaters, I really use it for like working out, just doing like work, right? Yeah, either working out or doing like just dirty work outside, right? So it's getting a lot of laundry. So that's why I like to put two pieces of cutaway. That way I'm not super careful when I'm in the when I put it in the laundry. I just throw it in the laundry and I don't have to think about it, right? And usually sweaters, they don't get, you don't see the underlay too much like a thin t-shirt. Maybe a thin t-shirt, you might have to be kind of iffy about how much cutaway to use. All right. All right. Man, I do appreciate all the ideas. If something just comes, like if an idea just comes to mind, just write it down, right? So that way I go back and knock this out. All right. All right. Now, let's go ahead. Actually, before we get started, I do want to show you the sweater. I did say that I washed, or my wife washed the sweater from last week. Hold on. Right. So let me show you how it looks. Let me just turn on the camera. All right. Hold on. Give me one sec. I got turned off this time because last week it was overheating. I don't want it to overheat again. All right. Bam. Move this right here. Put this to the side. All right. That was last week right here. All right. And like we're trying out a lot of sweaters right now, and this one was like super comfy, especially for women. All right. All right, so we put it in the washer and dryer, and we dried it normal. Like we weren't all careful. You know, usually you want to air dry stuff like, oh, we're gonna tell our customers you want to like air dry and be super careful with it. We weren't careful. We just washed it normal and dried it normal. Okay, and we're gonna continue putting it in the washer and dryer, right? So it's only had one one round in the washer dryer. All right. So far, round number one. All right. It's all good. All good. Nothing's coming out. All the foam is still all good. All right. So we're gonna, and I'll give you an update as we throw it more and more into the washer. All right. But so far, okay. Um, I would say a good reason why I think it's still looking good is because we used foam for embroidery. Okay. Because I know I've used the regular craft foam, right, from Walmart and all that stuff. It's a little bit more brittle, so it doesn't like it's not as soft as this one. And it's the regular like the traditional, not the dense foam. It's like the normal traditional one. All right. All right. Cool, cool. So I want to make sure I get that one. Talk about that, and I'll keep on giving you updates as we wash it more and more. All right. Actually, let me go back to the here. Let me just show you something here. As I'm doing these sweater designs, there is some settings. Hold on. Sorry about that for leaving the camera like that. Let's just fix this. All right. So what I'm doing here, I don't know if this piece of information might help you when you're doing your samples. Give me a second. All right. Looks like we're good. So what I do is I buy like so in Joann's, if I go to Joann's, I'm going to buy fabric, right? So I do buy a big piece of fabric. You can see here, right? And then I just put two layers. cutaway with the fabric, and I pretty much got a big roll to work with here, right? So it just helps me save on cutaway on the long end. So I have like a big sheet right here, right? So I just put them, and then that gang, I put it upside down, but it's all good. But you kind of see where I'm running a lot of these samples right here. Right, I still got space for more down here. Okay. So this ruler, it's almost like 24 inches left right here. Oops. Yeah. So you can see I still have space for more samples. All right. Just in case, like if you're in sample mode, you can make a big fabric, put some underlay under it. Right. All right. Cool. So once my settings is good, once I'm like happy where I'm at, um, I could just go and start digitizing all these designs right here. All right. Well, looks like we're good. Okay. All right. Let's go into the software now. All right. Man. Let me just make sure I got any questions right here. All right. There's a good idea right here. Oh yeah, names also, right? You can put people's names, nicknames. Sophia, Tito, and Tita. Yep. Thank you, Lorraine. Thanks for doing this. Like I'm super, super pumped. And these are like, I would say these type of designs are like they're never gonna go out of style, right? I've been seeing these type of designs as far as I could remember seeing sweaters, right? So there's certain like names and nicknames, cities, and all that that you give a sweater to somebody, like it's gonna be very memorable. All right. All right. Google. What font are you using? We're gonna talk about the fonts. This is just college font. All right. I'm gonna go into the Papa. I got this one on my list, so I'm definitely putting this one. I like this one. Daddy-O. Definitely Papa Bear. All right. Papa Boy. Independent is the best. Oh yeah. So yeah, that sweater that I just showed you with the foam, that's independent. I was very impressed when I went to the impressions at Long Beach, the independent booth, right? They had like some of the most amazing sweaters, jackets out there, right? And then Lorraine, yeah, that was puff. That was 3 millimeters. Yep. Thank you, Kiona. That was 3 millimeter regular puff, not the oh, Mima. All right. I never heard of Mima. Cool. Definitely add that to the list. All right. All right. Let's get into the digitizing. All right. Bam, bam. All right. Let me close up. And then really this is where I start my thing off. This one here is what I'm using as my template right here. All right. Let me put all my information that I like to put right here. Okay. So you already know if you see me digitize, these are my 3 boxes that I like to have open. My objects property. This is all settings right here. Okay. So you can see here through the tabs, I could put all the settings that I need. All right. Um, my color object list. So this will tell me the order that all my objects are being stitched at. And then my design information here, right, tells me the size of my design, how many stitches, how many trims. I always have one eye looking at my trims. Right. One time when I first started, let me get kind of give you a story time, just like 2 second story time right now, right? when I first bought like some of my first designs, there was one design, this digitizer sent me back a design, it had like 80 cuts. And if you ever had a file that had about 80 cuts, right, you know how long and how, it's just very unnecessary, right? And from that day I was like, there should have been less. Like, even if you don't know anything about embroidery, you know that if you have 80 cuts, you're like shaking your head on something. So from that day, all right, I always keep my eye on that trim, and I'm like, we need to figure out ways to minimize that trim. All right. But without, let me take out my template because that's what I'm using. But let me show you how I come about that template. I could actually close all these. All right, just kind of showing you the designs that are going to be available for download. Okay. Um. All right. So we start with a fresh slate. Okay. And hold on. One last talk time right here. The font that I'm using, right? College font, the most basic. Every digitizing software has college font. Okay. But everything that we're doing today here, you could actually use any of the embroidery fonts that you have, like any of your keyboard embroidery fonts, you should be able to use it. Even some of the true type, like if you have true type fonts, um, potentially they can be used too, right? Probably like good 85% chance you could use them. But because sometimes you want to like do your own, right? You, I'm gonna try to show it, right? So my goal for today's training is after today's training, you should be able also to make your own design. Like, what if you're driving one day and you come up with like the perfect idea? And you're like, hold on, I want to make one for myself. All right. You should be able to create one for yourself too. All right. All right. Let's go into the back to the digitizing. All right. We got Australia in the house. AJ embroidery. All right. We're definitely international. We're international now. All right. Appreciate that. All right, let's get busy right here. So we always start with the text, and no matter what embroidery software you use, okay, a lot of this should be similar. Okay. Um. Oh man, I always have information put out. What I'm gonna start doing, okay, and I always say I'm gonna do this, but it's definitely on my to-do list. I'm definitely gonna go into the other software and try to make this same training with the other softwares, right? So Chroma, right? We're gonna try to do this on the Chroma, and we'll try to do this on the Embrilliance. Okay. I have Embrilliance. I still gotta like I really need to get into that. But I do want to do that same training to kind of show you where the settings are at and everything. All right. Also, I gotta purchase more software because I do get some questions on different softwares. So look out for that like later this year also, right? Different using different software. All right, now let's get back into this. All right, so we're gonna start with text. So the one that I said I was gonna do, right? This is what like I like the idea. I think it was TMG that game that's it. We're gonna write girl dad. Right, girl dad. Bam. Let me see how many letters. One, two, three, four, space. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I'm gonna say eight letters, right? Counting the space. Okay, so I've typed in girl dad here. Right, let me see. Yep, everybody could follow here. Okay, so I'm right here in my object properties, right? Because I'm gonna put all my settings right now. I'm gonna choose my font. So I'm just gonna put college, right? College. I'm not worried about height and all that. Let me see. Bang. All right. All the settings don't matter because I'm gonna change it right now. All right. So let me just put create text. All right. So right now, I'm gonna size it up. So right now, width 2.2 inches. We're about to make it bigger. Let's make it 11 inches wide. Bam. Girl dad. Look at that. All right. Now, so right now you can see it's like sand stitches right now, right? Um, doesn't matter right now, but I'm just gonna put it at a fill stitch just so it doesn't look. It doesn't matter right now, right? So it could either be because I'm gonna take this out. It was here on a sand stitch, but just gonna put it as a fill, right? It doesn't matter because I'm about to change it in a bit. All right, so right now I just resized it to 11 inches. All right, so all I did, it was like tiny when it showed up on the screen, and then I opened it up 11 inches. So 11 inches is kind of like shoulder width. All right. 11 inches is like this one. I also have the 11 by 13, but usually this is the 4.25, okay, by 13. But usually I like working with 11 inches because the hoop goes 13, right? Hold on. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about with the correct hoop. One second. All right. All right. The wall looks unbalanced, but it's all good. All right. Bam. Right here. All right. Bam, bam. That's why I like going 11 inches because these hoops, I think in like a couple episodes ago, I asked a question like, besides the 5.5, what is your favorite hoop? And this one here is really one of the most popular ones here. This is the 8 by 13, right? Yep, 8 by 13. So this one here is like perfect for this size right here, right? Because it fits the 11 inches good, right? All right, put that to the side real quick. All right, and then let me see this question here. T-Town, Chroma's moving over to web-based monthly payments. They are no longer giving the desktop keys to others. All right, hold on. This topic right, this one here. All right, I could actually talk about this for like a good hour right now. All right, because I do have some very strong opinions on that, but we'll save that for either later or another episode. But do appreciate that. Yeah, I am aware on that. Uh, I'm just glad I don't have, or I don't like Chroma's not my main one, right? But at the same time, Wilcom, they're kind of shifting over to a um, a monthly payment one too, right? But I'm glad I have this one. It's already paid for, and I don't have to do payments or um, subscription on it, right? All right. But anyways, oh, all right. Let's go back to the design. Okay. Um, so let me see. Let me take out this box here just so I can zoom in a bit. All right. So this is kind of like my workflow here. Okay. This is my workflow here. So right now it is text right now, right? I could still edit my text, right? So if I want girl dad, right? You can still edit text, right? As soon as I start breaking them up into pieces, then I can no longer edit the wording on it, right? So I got to make sure my wording is good. All right. So 11. Good thing about college fonts is that you could take them out of proportion and it's not going to mess up the look, right? We can make it a little bigger, right? I think these designs they look better when the words are a little longer, right? So compare that to this, especially like front chest, right? That's like my little trick that I like to do. Like my secret sauce is increasing it in height, right? So I bring it up a bit, tad bit. It doesn't make it look awkward. It actually, I think it actually makes it look better. Adds a little bit more character to this design. Okay. So right now I'm looking at bottom right hand corner. It's telling me the height of this design. So 2.68. Okay. Um, that's cool. Really, when I'm picking up the my my height, I don't really have like a set height size. It's more like what's visually appealing, right? So to me, this kind of is like a good look. You definitely don't want to go too long, right? Then it starts looking weird. Okay. So I think that one right here is like a cool point right there. Okay. And then, all right, so that looks pretty good there. And what I'm gonna do is this was the secret right here. Okay. This lettering art. So you can see here. Okay. So it gives me options. You kind of hold on. Let me see if I can scroll down a bit. All right, that's all it gives me. All right, but you can see it here. So this part here, all these options, so from number 1 all the way to number 22, these are like envelopes. They're called envelopes. It kind of gives your letter some shape, right? This one, some crazy stuff, right? You got some crazy stuff that you can do, right? I really just use this one, right? Bam, right here, right? This is like the magic sauce right here for my designs. All right, bam. So this looks cool. You could edit it. So H, if I want to edit this, I don't edit it, but if you do want to give it a different curve, you could. All right, all right, I'm cool with that. All right, now I'm gonna look at the sizing again. 11, 3.9. And here, if you could still adjust the height. Like let's say you want to give it a little bit more, you still have the option to. Good thing here, what I do, right? Let me go into the screen right here. What I'm doing, okay, I would save it at this point right here, right? I'm gonna do like version 1. So I'll have 3 versions. I'll have the regular text where I save it. I'll put like girl dad tack 1 or dash 1. And then here I'll do a girl dad dash 2 because here, let me select it. I could still edit the text at this point, right? Let me just write this. Not that I'm gonna do this, but girl boy, just let's say that, right? Just to let you know that you could still edit the text right now. Okay, but after this step, my next step that I do, I can no longer edit my text. Right, so I'm just gonna save a version just in case I want to go back, right, like 3, 6 months from now, and I want to like make some type of adjustment. I have this version here where I can still adjust some of the text. All right. Now, girl dad. I think that's cool. Let me see, 4 point. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, let me bring up my object list. Okay, I'm gonna break this. So right hand click, break apart. All right, break apart. And what it's gonna do is gonna break the girl and the dad into 2 pieces. It's still text. You can see the letter A telling me that it's still text. All right, I'm gonna break it up again because I want the letters to be individual in their own individual space. So break apart again. Bam. Now each letter, so you can see how each letter is on its own. Okay. If I zoom in, you see how these are still letters. You could still edit them like individually, right? But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to select them all. And you can see my bottom, like in the bottom middle, I just selected this one. It's called the weld. And weld is going to make, so you see this D, how it's broken into two pieces, right? This A is broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. This L is 1, 2, 3, right? They're broken up into, and then you can kind of see, hold on. Change this into blue, right? So this is how it's digitized, right? So they're broken into pieces. So what this weld is going to do is just going to weld everything together into one piece, right? So you could kind of see right now when I push this weld, bam, it turned into everything into one. All right. So it's not broken into pieces anymore. It's just all one piece now. Right. So just think of it like welding something, right? You make everything into one. All right. Now, so now I can't edit the text anymore, right? It's like locked in right now. And it's a fill stitch right now. Not that it matters, but I'm going to change this into a walking stitch or running stitch, single stitch. Right? So we got, so this here is what I'm going to call the, let's X out of this so we could zoom in. Okay. This here is what I'm going to call the oh, I got to like make up a name because there is no name to it, right? But I'm going to call it the lowest common denominator, right? In our design with this line art that we have right here, we can do a lot of things here with this, right? We can either let me see. Like let's say if you really wanted to just put it as fill stitches, right? It's Tommy stitch, right? You can make it into a fill stitch. Of course, we would take out these little holes in there, right? But what we want to do, we just want to make our lines into sand stitches. Bam, right there, right? Some things that we gotta look out for. So you see how these are like butting each other. We gotta like space these out. Okay, we gotta space these out a bit. And now let's set up our settings. So let me bring up my 3 boxes here. Okay, my settings, like the settings I want to use. Um, so it's already at 4. It's 3.99, but I'm just gonna put 4 right here. 4 underlay. Okay, of course underlay is very important. I want it to be nice and sharp, like super straight. Edge run with a 0.45 margin, and a zigzag is good for me. All right, and then this one's important here. So, um, okay, I got the lap corner 60, bam, bam. All right, and then that one, let's see if I have any crazy corners I want to show you. This one actually doesn't have too much of crazy corners. Just this A right here. Oh, this A. So what it's doing is, if I didn't have these lap corners, like let's take this out, it would have some like crazy funky corner up here. All right. Those are my settings there that I'm using. Bam. All right, now let's go ahead. Let's fix this part right here. They're too close, right? They're butting up too close. We need to space this up a bit. So I'm just gonna grab this GI so you can see how it grabbed the GI. Just gonna move it a tad bit. Right, you could kind of use your judgment how to move it. Right, some of this stuff when you're editing it, you're like trusting your eye. Right, girl, dad. This D is a little bit too close to this A. And while we're moving this, of course, our width is changing, right? So we're going to have to adjust our width. All right. This A is a little close to that D. Not that it matters too much. All right. And then let's say, so sometimes when you're doing these, you just got to take a step back and make sure the spacing is pretty good. All right. So I can bring this down. You don't want to do too much where our bottom oval, right? It's out of like it should look like a nice rounded bottom part and top part too, right? It should kind of match. All right. Bam. Girl. That. All right. And then I'm just gonna center all this. Put that in the center. Okay. Now this is the part where I'm just taking like a step back. Push one. Should be one. All right. I kind of like sit back, right? I could kind of zoom out a bit. Take a step back, look at it, right? Kind of see how it looks. All right. Sometimes there's certain words that just kind of work together, right? This one here, we got some like spacing, like we have the spacing between the D and the A, right? And the A and the D. So we got some open spaces. Sometimes that could work against us in certain designs. Okay. Such as this one, GIR. You see how they're all like connected to each other? Like it's flowing together good, right? Overall, looks pretty good. Okay, we have no control of like what letters are next to each other, right? So we got to work with what we have. Okay, but this one looks pretty good. All right, I'm trying to think of anything that we got to change. If you could think of anything, let me know. So let me just keep it here for a quick second. I'm just looking at it. I'm taking like one step back. All right, I'm digitizing this like in real time. Like I haven't done this one yet, so I'm just looking at it here, trying to see if I got to change anything. Right. Overall, I think it looks great. I'm definitely, actually, this one, right? This one, I'm gonna stitch this one out on another sweater that I have. Okay. And the cool thing about these sweaters, or the cool thing I like about this design, the reason why I chose this envelope design is because look at this space that I have on the bottom, right? Here you could write certain things, right? So the famous one is putting established, right? EST. So I could write like EST 2016. College, right? You could add this one here. So let me put the size, height. Let's put it like a 1 inch. Well, let's see how big 1 inch. That's pretty too big. 0.75. Cool spot. All right. You can put that. Bang. Center it. Like I said, I'm digitizing this like in real time here, right? And then you can find like the perfect font that you want to go with. Or you You just go down the line, see what's your favorite font. Usually, I like one I usually use, book script. Let's go here. Bam. Right. Bam, bam, 00. It's like a safe one to use, right? What I might do is just put my daughter's name, girl dad, and then put, if it fits, let me see if it fits. Lexi and Jordan, right? If it fits, then it's all good. Yeah, bam, right there. Look at that. I might just go with this one. Girl dad. And then height wise, let me see what it was. Point. Got it like a 1 inch. Yeah, put it. Bam. All right. We take a look at this again. This is where I just take a step back, look at it, right? I think it flows real good. All right. Let me know what you think. And then let me see. See what. Karen, how you doing? Too bad the bottom left of the A isn't tilted the other way. Too bad the bottom left of the A. The bottom left of the A is it. All right. Trying to see what you mean. All right. But really the bottom is it has like that circular base, right? So you want to just make sure the circular base is on the bottom. All right. What I do like, okay, what I do like is that we have a pointer. We have like on the D, on this part of the D, okay, we have the bottom part, and it doesn't always work like this, all right? Right? I don't know. We got a pointer coming down here, and we got a pointer coming down here, which I like. Okay. It doesn't, not every design goes down like that. All right. But overall, sometimes this is just what sometimes what I'm doing, I'm over analyzing something, right? Just as a designer. A lot of times, because in reality, like in every shirt that you'll see, this is perfectly fine, right? But sometimes you do want like a super symmetric design that's gonna fit out perfect. But sometimes letters, right? There's only certain things you can do with letters. Overall, I think it looks cool. I'm actually gonna save this one, right, and stitch this one out. All right, so I'm definitely gonna make a video stitching this one out because this one's pretty cool. I like this one. All right, bam. Let me see. Oh, all right. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, girl that. But let me just set it up, and then let me give you some pointers real quick on sending this to stitch out. Okay. So when I go back to my 3 boxes. All right, now when we stitch out, okay, let me get on the screen right here before I show you some stuff. Okay, so when we're stitching out our sweaters, okay, of course, you know, we want to go from like center out, right, as much as we can. Of course, we could definitely go from left to right, if we had to, right? But if we have if we have the a choice, like let's say, um, with girl dad, like we could do dad first, right? So like in my example, right, I could do G and work my way out. That's usually the way I do it, right? G, or let me show you in the design one with girl dad. So here I can do D first. Actually, I would do L first, right? Let me select my L. I would select L first because that's kind of in the middle. I'm doing this part of the D, the inside, the outside, A, D, and then I'm working my way back. R, I, G. Right? Let me sequence that. Bam. Okay, bam, bam. Let me just put my right underlay under this one. Underlay center run. Zigzag. Cool with that. All right. Now let's see it play. Stitch wise, so you could see, even though the sweater is, this design is fairly big, right? Like, let's look at this size of the design. We're looking. Okay, so here I actually got to resize it. Let me put it at 11. So right now it's showing at 11.3 inches. I'm going to change it to 11 inches. And when I do that, right, it's going to bring it in. Make sure the ratio is locked in right here. The proportional scaling, you want to make sure it's locked in. That's why, that way if you change the width, it also changes the height. So what that did, it actually changed my my sand stitch. Right, so let me select blue. Let me go back to fills, bam, metric, 4 millimeters. Right, so it brings it back, right? So if you're changing the size, make sure you go back and change the size of your sand stitches, or else it's gonna either make it bigger or smaller. All right, everything's cool. This corner looks a little weird. Sometimes they do look like that on the screen, and then when it stitches out, it looks good. All right. Bam. So I'm gonna save this one, and then when I put it up for download, actually I'm gonna include this one in tonight's download. So when I do it, um, and the download, of course, you're gonna receive it like this. You could either print it like this, or you could put that wording, right? That's why I like this rounded one, because it has like a little pocket, so you could add text on the bottom, right? Okay, so we're gonna keep it like this. So now let me push replay on this. All right, and put the replay. Let me move this line over here. All right, so I'll speed it up right now too. Right now, these are the underlays that I like to use on this setting right here, especially 4 millimeters. It's not like a super wide sand stitch, but you still want to have enough underlay, so so your letters aren't all wavy. We want them nice and sharp and straight. Okay, so you can see here, underlay, I had an edge run with a zigzag. I think that's more than enough. Okay, that's more than good. It's gonna give it like a nice base to stitch out on. Okay, now we just let it run. And then the density of 0.38. Okay, 0.38. I think that's cool. All right, speed that up. Put a trim here. Okay, then it stops. Now it's gonna jump to the next one. Right. Then I'm gonna go super fast right now. All right, does that one. So you see how it does the D, does the A, D, bam. Now it's gonna go back. Oops. Hold on. All right. Thought my computer froze for a sec. Bam. The I think I'm gonna move that I a tad bit. I think it's close, like right here. Might have enough space, but bam, G. All right, cool. All right, now stitch wise, it does have. Oh, it went down. Uh, Oh, that's because I took out the word on the bottom. So, but just by itself, 15,000 stitches, 15,300. Okay, so really for a front chest logo, right? Especially this big, 11 inches, 15,000 stitches, relatively for a size that big, it's not that many stitches, right? Because usually if you do a front chest logo or a front or a full back logo, you can easily get into 100,000 stitches, okay? Which is not fun. I definitely don't like working in the 100,000 stitches. Yeah, sometimes they can become a headache, those type of. So 15,000, pretty good to work with. Okay. So save this one here. Put this one on the list of ones to digitize or the ones to put on the free download. All right. So I think that's gonna have like that's gonna move it to like 6 designs for tonight. All right. And like I said, I'm gonna have these designs available for free download. Um, Tonight after the live, I'm gonna post them up. All right. Let's do one more. Okay, let's do one more. Let me see which one we should do. All right. I know we had a ton of great ideas of and I'm gonna go with where is this one that I liked? Somebody gave me a and what I think, like my personal opinion on designs. All right. I think the the less words, not the less words, but um, when the word is too long, then the height has to decrease. So we got to find like a sweet spot. I think like 4 words, 4, 5, 6 words or letters is like the sweet spot. Okay. Which is the one that there was one that was like perfect. Bam, bam. Yep, right here. All right, we'll do this one. All right, Ray Smith's idea, wifey. I like that one. All right, so let's go back in here. Okay, and okay, start from scratch again. All right. Bam, bam. Let's go. Wifey. All right. Let's pick college. All right. So the second time around, I don't really have to. I don't really have to. I'll do less explaining since I already put the explaining right there. Let's see. Create text. Let's expand it to bam, bam. Width 11 inches. Bam. Super big right there. Turn this into that. Let's put it. Bring out the envelope. Number 2. Bam. Actually, Control Z. Let me change this color so you can kind of see it a little better. Let's change the height a bit. Uh, let's see at this height. What height is this? 3.6. All right, now, bam. Yep. All right. And then remember, you could always make it bigger if you want to. I think that's cool. 4.7. All right. This one, this design, I like it because it has the corner up here. Really, the emphasis that I'm looking at it is up here. Like it has this one here, right? And then it has the Y that kind of matches it up here too. So I think this one looks real cool. I like this one. Okay. Um, Now I'm going to break apart, select, weld, turn this into a line. Oh, I forgot to make I forgot a step, super important step on this one here. Okay. Actually, I could still fix it right now because I could still grab these, turn it into a run stitch. Okay. One step that I forgot to do. Okay, and I know it's gonna happen here on this A right here. H. What I want to make sure. All right. What I want to make sure. Take this out. I want to make sure I have straight lines. So you see this corner here. I have a I have a node here, 3 nodes. Okay. I don't want to have a node somewhere in between unless it's necessary, right? Unless it's like on the top, maybe. But here, let me select this one, H. So you see from corner to corner, I have one right here. So I need to delete these two. All right. Lucky I remember. Forgot that one. So I need to find any nodes that are unnecessary, right? So let me control Z again. So these two here, these and these. Oh, that one and this one, because I want a straight line. All right, almost forgot that's really A. I know on the college font, A is the main one. H, these are cool. See, like here, it has one. It has a rounded, so you can see here. Um, it has this rounded one up here. That's fine because it's trying to create that rounded shape on the top. So I'm cool with that one. Same thing here on the bottom. It has that bottom. Okay, but anything in between. All right, and then really on the college H, it's really the A that carries that. All right, H. Right here, I'm all good. Okay, so all I got to do is go back, add this sand stitch back into it. Okay, let's run. Let me just change it to perfect 4. All right, so back on track. All right, so it was really the A that I'll. All right, I knew I was missing something. So here, let me just go quick. So if I put it in order on the stitch out, I'm gonna stitch F first, E, Y, go back to I, W. Okay, sequence that. Now I'm gonna click on F, make sure all my nodes are good to go. Okay, like this middle one, it has it as a straight line. I'm gonna change it to a rounded one. All right, just so it looks a little smoother. All right, bam. I like that one. The F is good. H, uh, the E. So you see this one here. Probably not necessary. I'll take this little rounded one out. Okay, the ones on top and bottom, the rounds on top and bottom, I'm good with that. The Y, I could kind of see here is like some crazy stuff happening here. So H, yep. So I just need one. So delete this one just to make a nice clean straight line. All right, bam. And then the I, H, yep, everything look good. W, H. Oh, this rounded, I'll take out this round. I don't, same thing right here. Right, bam. Take all these rounded ones. Actually, I want a straight line going down here. Right. A lot of this is just like your judgment call. Like here, take these. All right, bam, bam. Everything looks good. All right. Now select them all. We'll turn this into sand stitch. Bam. All right. We're just looking at the spacing between sand stitches. Make sure we don't have anything that's, like overlapping or too close or too far. And then I'm going to look at my angles, stitch angles, making sure nothing looks too crazy. Okay, everything looks cool. Bam. I actually like this one. This one looks like a pretty cool design. Right. Oh, let me see. Let me just make sure all the settings that I need are good to go. Sand stitch 4 millimeters, good. Let me make sure lap corners 60 degrees. Yep. 5, 8. Cool. All right. And my underlay, of course. Edge run. Yep. 4-5 and a zigzag. All right. Let's push quick play. It's gonna do the F first. E. Right. Y. Bam. I. W. All right. Bam. Bam. All right. Bam. I like that. Okay. I like that. Let me just center it. 0. All right. So I got it all centered here. Now, one thing that I'm gonna say. Okay. A little advice that I'm gonna give you guys right here. Just any advice that I give is because it's like a lesson learned that I got. All right. Close this up a bit. All right. Let me go on the screen here so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Why? Wait. My daughter's my daughter is knocking on the door right now. All right. Um. Let's see where. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you one last thing right here. All right. So here it's centered in the middle. You kind of see like this center point right here, right? What this center point is telling us, this is where when we trace the design, that's where it's gonna start, right? When you're tracing a design, it starts in the center, like if that's where you have it programmed. But what I like to do sometimes, but before I even go tell you this information, the downloads, anytime I do a download, I always centered it in the middle because that's traditionally that's where designs are set is in the center, right? In the center. But what I like to do with my own files, right? What I like to do with my own files is I'll go to object, no, design, auto start in. Instead of putting my trace to start in the middle, I'll put it on the top middle, right? On the top middle. So now push OK. So you kind of see how I moved top middle. Okay. Reason why I want my trace to start up here, so that way, when I'm putting, usually like you have your sweet spot, right? Usually I have like 4 fingers and then I put the top part there. Okay. I could just put a dot right there, right? I put my dot top middle. And when I'm tracing, that's where my needle is going to start when I do the tracing, right? So just kind of like an FYI, if you want to kind of get like the perfect placement of your stitch, because sometimes when you center it from the middle, like it's you gotta trace it like 3 or 4 times before you kind of get it on the exact place where you want it, right? But for right now, I'm just gonna keep it centered because traditionally that's where people are used to having it. Okay, and then Sadar, thank you for this question right here. So right now the way it's digitized, right? It's like this, like to make it super simple, right? We're just adding the sand stitches, right? Now, what do we do to make it applique? All right. Very good question right here. Okay. Actually, what I have to do, some of the designs, let me go big. The designs that I'm gonna put for download, I'm thinking I actually should make 2 versions, right? Just the normal regular version and then the applique version. So I am gonna add eventually I'm gonna add the two files, right? I'm gonna add one to make it just like this and one version to make it applique. Okay. Thank you for reminding me on that. Let's turn it into applique. Right. All it is one extra step, All right, let me pull out my tools right here. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna duplicate. Let's duplicate this, duplicate. I'm gonna turn it, let's do color black. All right, let's do black, but I'm gonna turn it into a run stitch. Bam, all right. So you kind of see it kind of overlap, made it into a run stitch. All right, and then let's move this to the beginning. So move to start. All right, so when it stitches out, okay. Now this is well, let me play it so you can kind of see how it's gonna. So it's gonna do the F first. You can see, okay. Um, then it's gonna do the next letters. All right. So it's doing the run stitch. I W. Right. And then it's gonna run the actual stitches. Well, you could do one step extra. Uh, Duplicate again. Let's change this into purple. Bring this all the way to the top, right? So purple, placement stitch. Black is your cut stitch, and then your uh, burgundy is your actual sand stitches. Okay. Um, what I would do, take out the I. You don't really, we don't need it just for the placement. I'll just leave it right now. But really, you could take out the I and the E for the placement stitches, right? Even the F. Really, you could just keep the W and the Y for a placement stitch. Um, Now, some people applique different, right? Want to do, some people want to put all the letters in one shot and then cut them, or a W first, an I second, F, or whatever, like letter by letter. For right now, I'll just keep it like this, right? But this one here would be applique ready. So let me push play, right? F. So this would be the placement. The purple is telling you where to place your fabric, okay? After this part, then you lay down your fabric. Now you put down the cut stitch, right? Which is the black. Now it's right. Then you would cut it, right? I take it off the machine, cut it because I like to sit down, put it on a flat table, okay? Cut it and then put it back on the machine and then let it run, right? Of course, super extra more steps, right? But gives it that extra look. All right. All right. So that's how we turn it into applique, right? So it's just two extra steps, whereas add the add the placement stitch, add the cut stitch, right? Cool. So I do appreciate that question. That was a good question right there. All right, cool. All right. Let me see how we're doing with time. All right, we are doing good with time. All right. Oh, let me see. VC from Sydney. All right. We got another Australian in the house. Alice, great idea. Victorious creation. All right. Can you use a single needle machine? Um, it depends how big. For sweaters, front, chest, it all depends how big your stitching space is, right? Like if it allows it, then yes. It all depends your parameters and what's allowable. Chicha, how do you pick a new center of design? I had a design, I need to change it, but cannot remember how to do it. I think you were just, yeah, so let's go back into this, right? Um, so what I was showing you is how you could you can you can manually, usually your center, right? Your center is where you're going to is where you're going to trace your design, right? From the center, and then it's going to move. But you could choose where to start your trace. So where I went, design, auto start. So before I told you I could go, I like to sometimes, right? I like to start on the top center. Okay. Even for hats, I like to go close to the brim. So for hats, what we do, we start our trace bottom center for hats, right? Now, let's say you just want to manually put your own starting point. What you could do is digitize start endpoint. All right. There's sometimes where we want to put it. So if I push OK on the bottom left of the software, it's telling me enter auto start endpoint. So I could manually click wherever I click. That's where it's going to start the tracing. So let's say, okay, this is useful. Like let's say you have a pocket right next to the W, right? Like let's say you have something here or a crease or something where you want to start. We can start our trace from right here, from this corner, right? Bam. It'll start right here. Like let's say you have a, a crease or something here or like a pocket and you don't want to pass that portion. So you would put the s- the the cent or the tracing starting point right here. Okay. Pretty useful in certain situations. So let me go back. Auto start. Let me put it back to um, auto start in middle. Bam. All right. Now I put it back in the center. Cool. All right. Good question right there. Right. Good question. It is useful certain times. All right. Cool. Uh, and then Angie, how you doing? This is Wilcom 4.5. Wilcom ES Designing. All right. Appreciate that, Raphael. Yep. Is this similar? Yeah. So very similar to Hatch. I actually started in Hatch, and then shifted over to Wilcom. All right. So it's the same company that makes it. It's under the same umbrella. Um, all right. Bam, bam. Raphael just used Wilcom. Yep. Learning. All right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect answer to the previous question. If we could use a single needle, right? What you would have to do if your hooping is not big enough, then you would have to multi-hoop, right? Um, yeah, as long as you were like organized and like making some straight lines on your garment, very possible, very straightforward. All right. And then T-Town. Yeah, I was trying it the other day. I could not get it to move manually. I had to take it over to Chroma. But yeah. All right. Cool, cool. All right, cool. So, as a reminder, go on the big screen. All right. All right, cool. You kind of saw my workflow, how I go about. So, my goal for the next couple weeks is to do 100 free designs. So, I got some excellent ideas from the chat. I definitely appreciate the recommendations or the ideas that you had, right? Some real good ones. Some of the ideas we kind of did here on the spot. All right. Um, if you are watching on the replay and you have an idea or you have like, hey, let me see how this looks like this, that, um, put it also in the comments and I'm gonna add it to the list. All right. So far, this is the list right here. All right. I got about like 20, 30, something like right here. but I want to hit a 100, right? 100 that I want to hit. So we got some like good family stuff, cities, states, sports. Okay, we got some good ideas. Um, and I'm like in sample mode right now, so I'm gonna be sampling a lot. I'm sampling like a lot of settings, like setting. I'm trying to find like the perfect settings that I like to work with. That way, when you're stitching them out, they're all good to go. All right. Um, so look out for this week the video that I already shot the video. I just gotta edit it. So look for it like in 2 or 3 more days. Um, is hooping and stitching out this sweater here. All right. Later today or later tonight, I'm gonna have the free download, so you can download this design and about like 6 other ones that I have ready to go. And then every week we're gonna I'm gonna add to the link. All right. So it's gonna be a link, and my goal is to do 100 free designs. All right. And it's a lot of the ideas are coming from the chat, are coming from the comments. All right. So make sure you add. All right. So, yep, just keep on adding the ideas. All right, like this one, Chiefs. Awesome training. Thanks, Chiefs. And then let me see, Angie. Did you do a video on 3D just check for a phobia? Yeah, last week was on a sweater of 3D foam, but I have a bunch of for hats. That's like my bread and butter right there. All right, all right. I had a blast today. All right. Um, Want to thank everybody for hanging out today. All right, Mondays, my favorite day of the week. Make sure you hit that like, spread it, share it. Right. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I will definitely get back to you ASAP. All right. See you guys next week. Peace out, everybody. Hit that like.